everybody. Start the video back off with this guy. We're here underneath the teepee, looking at one of my variegated mother plants. Some nice wind chimes going in the back. And we're gonna do a midsummer update. It's right in the middle of summer. The temps are hot, hot, hot. And some of these guys are doing good. Some of them are leaning like this guy. Look at that. Look at that. Straight up. Lean. Probably gonna have to propagate him. But we actually just got a solid week of rains. This is all rainwater that I collected. And here we are with a little station I got, bottom watering all these seedlings with straight Arizona rainwater. Now, the rains were very, very nice to us. I'll probably throw up a video of me collecting all the rainwater. We've officially reached maximum capacity here in Arizona. Oh, look at that. Gotta be over 100 gallons here. Look at that one. Maximum capacity. I collected over 100 gallons easily. But I'm gonna tell you why I really like the rainwater here. So if you're watering with just straight up normal water off the hose in Arizona, it's gonna be very hard. There's gonna be minerals and stuff like that inside of it. That's why a lot of people here have water softeners. Now this water is hard from the well, like straight from the ground. So there's not much the city or anybody can do about it. It's just gonna always be hard. Places like Arizona, Tucson, I hear California's like that, and Texas as well. So the rainwater actually does not have any of that calcium or any of the super hard minerals that are gonna hurt our plants in it. Look at this nice lumberjack pup right here. And the rainwater is actually slightly acidic here. And the slightly acidic rainwater is gonna pair very well with our slightly alkalinic soil and make for a nice neutral pH that feeds all of the plants well. If you didn't know, plants need certain pHs to soak up certain nutrients. Now, it's not a hard rule. It's not like as soon as the pH goes to, let's say, 6.5, all of a sudden it can't take in nitrogen. But it's less effective the further you stray from the proper pH that they want. And the rainwater is a perfect pH that all of the cactus love. So while we just got this nice rain, it's nice and hot, we're gonna see what they all look like after one of these big soakings from the rain. And I also have a surprise later in the video that I wanna show you. So buckle on up. Let's go look through some of the updates of some of these cactus that I showed you earlier in the season and see how they're doing now a couple months later. Now, what better way to start it off than with some of the big guys in the ground, right? So I was acclimating this guy in an earlier video so that he could be planted here. And as you can tell, see if I can get on the other side here. He's still pretty dehydrated. He really hasn't soaked in anything. But all of this is new growth. All these basil pups are new that are in the ground. So he's been growing. He's probably grown at least 1.5 feet. And look at this little guy. He's got another basil pup coming in. So we'll see what's happening with him. He's got a little bit of a lean to him. Should be like that, but he's about right there. So we'll see. You can see how nice and plump this guy is in comparison. Now that is nice and going. I think I'm gonna plant him here. He seems to really like this spot. And then we got the Desert Botanical Scope. Now this guy has been cut. Can't remember if I showed him back here, but he was well over the fence. And he's been propagated for some other nice kind folk. Now, something that's new about this area, there's the seedlings, is I finally got my hands on a pallet. Now I've got this pallet set up so that it can be nice and flat. And then I can also start growing some of the taller guys in an area where they get afternoon shaded by the teepoo now, probably around 1. And then a little bit of dappled shade. So on this side, I get more dappled shade than over here. So I'm kind of trying to fill in some dudes that need more shade, maybe some Burgessies and stuff over on that side, or dudes that are rooting like these PCs. Those guys are just rooting. And over here will be the more sun heavy guys. This guy's Yogi. Very, very nice. And then right here, of course, the Sonoran Burgessi, one of my bigger stands of it. Can't wait for him to go off. Right under here, some rooting guys. And then we got Dr. G times Super Pedro J3, planted in 2024 on his own roots. When he was planted on his own roots, he was plump. Now he is not so plump. I'm hoping that he soaks up water here soon, but he really has not soaked up any water. The whole time, this whole year, he has not soaked up anything. And then you got this little dude over here, Wobble. And Wobble's doing amazing. I love looking at this guy. I've taken off his milk crate. This will be his first week. He had a whole week of all clouds last week to help him adapt. Now this will be like this first 3 or 4 days with just full sun. And we'll see how he does. He's looking very nice. I think I'm gonna propagate this top pup because I really like the look of this guy. That's Wobble. Let's go check out some in the tent. I need to jump in the pool and cool off too. And this is where I've been rooting cactus for a while. Some of you might remember my how to make cactus friends and get free cuttings video. This is from that video. It's been a couple months now. Both these guys, this guy might be rooted. He feels like he's got a good amount. A little bit of give, but he feels like he's got some water to him. And we got big old Taz right here. Look at this Taz. This Taz is from Mallet's Cuts. Well, that's who made the clone famous, but I got that one from a friend as well. And we got the Pakwamba. Pakwamba. Beautiful. My biggest cutting that I'm rooting. He did fall, but it's all right. He's getting better. That's not San Pedro. Common look-alike called the pencil cactus. Oh no, toothpick cactus. That's right. This is the toothpick cactus. I can just tell. And then this dude's for sale. Nobody wants him though, but we got a Tucson fat mother plant for sale. Humongous. Look at the size of that. And then the other thing that we can't forget. I need to bring this all the way over here. What the? All right, let's go check out something else. We're here under the small tent. My phone keeps heating up real quick, so like I got like 5-minute shots in between each one until I gotta go cool it down in the fridge. But I hate this tent because of how small it is too. So I'm also probably gonna be pretty quick. Now this dude, somebody said they think it's a Cusco. I think they're right. The way that these ribs are just so wavy like that and they bulge out makes me think it's a Cusco. Look at this right here. This is a Shogun Graph Bob Gillette, aka Precious. Now this is about 2 months of growth. 2 months since graft. So it's like a couple weeks of slowly acclimating it to full sun now that it's under the shade tent. Absolutely going off. Keep your eyes out on the website for these Shoguns. I have a ton of them going now. Nice big old fat no ID Burgessi. Look how fat this Burgessi is. No ID on him. I choke a graph that I gotta get better. I gotta cut that pup off. Look at this crested. It's like a mound. That one's like a mound of just deformed cactus. And then we got our CSDs, couple brothers grafted onto a Grandie. Another Shogun. Look at that one. That one came out painful like. This is the other one, the other graft. Skip Jones. And look at how thick this dude is. I grew this one from a little seedling, and now he's a full-fledged rootstock. One of the new additions right here. Look at that. This one's the mallet cut. Got him in that video I was referencing earlier as well. My new cactus additions with making cactus friends. Now look at this one. This one's Oceanside 02. He does really well in this heat, especially for a Burgess. He can take a lot of sun. I'm noticing this Oceanside is one of the better clones. And this pup on the right was probably as big as the left pup when I got it. So he's already shot off massive growth. Dr. G times SSO2 seedlings. Taking full sun. I'm noticing they're not growing quite as fast in the full sun, but they're doing it. Got a little bit of sun stress. You can see the purpling a little. Nothing to worry about though. Nothing to worry about. Nice no ID Burgess stand. Another Shogun graft. Here's our penis cactus graft. Doing very nice. Very nice. Another Shogun, I'm telling you people, they're coming out. They're coming out. Now, new development. Let me zoom out. This guy here was melted wax. I got him from 3KO series, Trichocereus. He's a cactus vendor, and back in the day he had melted wax. Now I may or may not have confirmed it was spicy. So when I confirmed that, this was probably like 6 years ago, I started buying all of his melted waxes. I probably have at least 7 mother plant melted waxes. And then I was informed on Reddit that the original melted wax, the one that was circulated all those years ago, is actually Lotus Land. So this right here is a Lotus Land. Going off. I love it. Next to it is a nice fat seedling we grew, Super Pedro times Yowie. I'm definitely noticing any of the Super Pedros, they're doing well. Finally got 2 Bruce's Dragon pups coming off of this guy. Open, and the phone's heating up. It's 4:30. The phone's heating up. All right, I'm gonna take a break, and we're gonna come back to where this Bruce's Dragon is and beyond. Back to your regular scheduled programming. Look at that variegated, the triple pup trifecta. Right here's a nice no ID Burgess. It's nice and blue. Miestra, this one I did grow from seed. Pretty sure Miestra is a place, and that's like a locality, not a specific clone name. This guy almost looks like one of my Dawson pups. I have 3 of them, so I wouldn't be surprised. Look at this bridge. I grew that guy from seed. Aline times SSO2, or Eileen times SSO2. This basil is doing really nice. Look at that basil. Scope. A pure scope seedling. Beautifully fat, just like they do. We got the macro lumberjack pups going. These guys are becoming a favorite after the last garden tour, right before the bee attacked me, or right after the bee attacked me. I got the mother plant's in ground right there. You can't see because of the tent, but there's the mother plant. A singular fat seed. Some more shoguns back here. Nothing too crazy. Look at that shogun. He's already got a lot of growth. Wait, that might actually not be shogun. Let's see. That's ogun. Ha! I knew it. I wouldn't lie to you fair people. I would never. Some more no-name Burgessies. You know me, I love my no-name Burgessies. Another seed Burgessie that I grew. He's about to reach the top of the tent soon. Some more seeds, Fillmore times Nuestra. And this is a new one that we've added. The Wizard clone. That's the Wizard. Look at this fat seedling doing absolutely spectacular. Got some Lima Flower Market grass back there popping off. Toros. Now look at this one, Jules times Clyde. He has the areoles of a Pacanoy, like it's not all super white and fluffy, but the spines of Clyde, of the Peruvian. Really nice looking seed that we've grown. You could tell he's getting pretty fat as well. And then the biggest seed I think that's in here is this one. Sacred Succulent Peru and Rosie. So this is just a pure Peruvian. And he looks like a full-blown plant now. He does not even look like a seedling at this point. You could probably just call that an actual cutting at this point. But did grow them from seedlings, so they were never cut and they got their original roots on them still. I think this is SSO2, yep. I love SSO2. I got a double arm that I'm gonna be rooting on their own, and I'll probably sell these guys soon, so keep your eyes out. And that's back to about where we started. So oh yeah, here's a nice fat penis one. He got split into two, but he's doing really well. Let's go check out the big tent now, so my back stops killing me. Before we go to the big tent, we gotta check this dude out. This was the thumbnail on the last garden walkthrough. Everybody loved this guy in the comments, and he was just the shape of a ball. It's about doubled in size since the last one, and now you can actually see the column forming. Much thicker than what was down here. Absolute showstopper. Let's see. Look at the waviness on this guy. Wouldn't be a cactus tour video without showing him off, am I alright? And let me show you this other thing. So we're midday now. This is the first or the second full sun day since a week of rain and clouds. You can see they're kind of already yellowing back up. This is just sun stress, and they're just kind of reacting to too much UV, but they're gonna be fine. They're really just waiting for another overcast, and that should be coming here soon. If you notice a bunch of cactus are doing this, a little bit more shade sometimes can also help keep them into a nice green state, which will help their chlorophyll photosynthesize a lot more, and then, you know, they'll get nice and big like that guy. Let's go check out some more. All right, here we are with Snake. S-N-E-K. This guy's just a little dude for now. But I planted him in the ground. He's one of the smallest ones I've planted in the ground since the last update. And he's supposed to kind of fall over and crawl like a snake as he gets older. So I have this whole ass area that I think I'm gonna let be his. And I might even take out this monstrous too, once he gets big enough. But look at this monstrous. You can see he's got a little bit of sun damage, but nothing crazy at all. Not really damage, but stress. Really helps his Nice and plump. Look at that arm. Nothing too crazy monstrous wise from him now. But this dude I love. Here's our landrace. Grew him from seed. I spent a good amount of time going over him on the last video. And I love how it kind of does this like single long spine as it goes down. Once it gets that mature growth, I don't know if it does it too much. But I don't know, he kind of looks a little bit like a Peruvian to me. Let me know what you guys think. He was labeled as a Pacanor landrace from Ecuador. Pacanoi from Ecuador landrace. Nice tag. And now we got this dude. Big old flawless growth. So everything from this mark right here and up is this season. Same with him. And then this dude is known because he's got the full sun. I actually took him off the drip this year, so he's not getting any drip. But after this big old monsoon dump this last week, we got a flower popping off. Now, this dude is growing like mad. And that's why I may or may not have been filling up sandbags like this was an event. Like if you've seen us vending at the events. And I put my event tent up so we can ensure this bud makes it. Look at how nice that bud is. It's grown a lot just today. Just today alone, it's really grown a lot. I'm really hoping, so we got 3 days. We had the full week of rain, beautiful weather. Surely why it pushed that flower out. But now we have 3 days where the minimum in the night is not even gonna get below 90. There's rumors that the cactus stop breathing as well when it gets hot like that. So we have the shade up for the next 3 days. If we make it past these 3 days with this, it's still live and it's still pushing. So if it just keeps pushing for these next 3 days, it'll open up about right when we get hit with another week of cloudy monsoon and the highs like 100 degrees weather, which would be perfect. I have this guy, it's not this exact one, but it's the same clone's pollen, TBM, lined up for him. I also have some Paula Res pollen, but I don't know if the dude that gave that to me would like me to pollinate it with the pollen res, or the Paula Res, because I think he's got some New Western Bonita crosses already. But I'm gonna ask him. Paula Res would be really, really cool to do, but I think I'm gonna end up doing the monstrous. Hopefully we can get some more flowers coming out, because I have a couple cactus this sized that are not pushing any flowers yet. And this dude had 3 buds on him. 2 of them fell off, and then look, another bud is coming in right there. So I'm intrigued. This is a cool update. Let's go see what's happening under all of the big tents now. Here's some nice close-up shots of the flower bud. Look at that thing. Look how fuzzy it gets. That's why they were put in the Trichocereus family. It means fuzzy. It stands for fuzzy because of how fuzzy that flower gets. Look at that thing. Gorgeous. You can see the petals are starting to come in. That dark outer spot are not the petals, but the nice middle is. All right, let's take a look at the big tank. Get my backup break, right? So we got the new one, Jamul, right there. Jamul looking nice. Terminated his pup. Now he's got a new one, or his tip. Now he's got a pup coming in. This guy's been cut. The SSO2 times Sarah Blue and the Macro times Lumberjack had 2 arms on it. I think I'm gonna list this mid right here. This is a really nice mid. But yeah, that guy got cut and sold. I still got the one in the ground going off, and he's actually got another basil that he's putting off, so maybe we'll go see that. But look at that little dude. One of my favorite genetics, without a doubt. I love the Macro times Lumberjack. Lumberjack is just a staple out here in the desert. And I'm glad to be spreading that. As I showed you earlier, I got a graft with a couple of those pups coming off it as well. So that's gonna keep your eyes peeled. That should be coming out. Now look at how nice these thorns are. Another no ID Burgess. I'm telling you guys, you don't need anything fancy. It's putting off new thorns at the base. You can tell because the white ones right here, that's the color that they are when they age. And now all these new ones are all fiery red. That's why they call them torches. But this one's definitely got the nicest thorns on this arm. And he goes all the way up here. And that's cool funk growth. We got Super Pedro times SS Burgess. Sacred succulents, not Sonoran spores, alright? Don't get the two confused. We're more mushroom, they're more cactus. But we're getting into the cactus now. Nice old Super Pedro. You can see it came from a bat stump. Got some scarring on it, it's a nice old growth. We cut this arm off. So now we just got 2 arms going on the Super Pedro. Looks like a nice classic Pacanoy. Not really any thorns, but I don't know if it is a Pacanoy. It might be a scope hybrid or something like that. Either way, it's a staple in the cactus collecting space. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, is that another no-name Burgess? No. It's not a no-name Burgess, you fool. Why would you even assume that just because I have so many of them? This here is a KJC or KGC, Killer Green Cactus, times SSO2. Both of them renowned for their spicy levels and bred together to make a super spice baby. Loves going 4 winds. I get a lot of 4 winds off of this guy. And I also have a ton of him going. Just an absolute ton of him going. And we've probably sold about 5 or 6 cuttings of this exact clone this season. So we gotta let him cool off. We gotta let him recover, and then next season we'll be back at it with those guys. Now look at how fat this guy is. This is a seedling we grew. There's a little basil pup down there. That's like the size the seedling was. Now we have an absolute monster. Here's another. This was the original Lotus Land stand. He has not melted back really. Let's see if I can get down here. You can see the base where he was melty. And most of his arms have reverted. But if you guys know about him, you know that that's a great one to have. Here's the Bob's Gillette. It started right there. That's where the tip was. He's grown a good like 3 inches already. This is Skip Jones, actually. This is not Bob Gillette. I thought it was Bob Gillette because how fat it is. Dang, Skip Jones. Doing your thing. You can see it kind of went a little melty up here, the Lotus Land. We got, is this landfill? Lima Flower Market. Look how fat these Lima Flower Market arms are. Nice pups coming in. Shade's kind of blocking him. Another Shogun. No ID Burgess. But I tell you, I collect them. They're a favorite of mine. But I love when they get the thorns. Like, look at how nice these thorns are, man. And then next to it, if you watched my recent video going over TPQC, we had a comment from Bob Baker on there. This one is from him, I believe. Baker 5452. Given to me as a gift as well. The gift cactus always got a special place in my heart, you know. Whenever you can, I've also gifted some cactus to some people. Whenever you can gift it or get one gifted, it's always a beautiful, beautiful cactus. At least in my eyes. It could be the ugliest thing and it instantly becomes beautiful to me. Helen times SSO2. Love you. Look at this. From this view, we got basil. Oh, let me get my finger out of the way. Sorry, I got fat fingers. If you ever see me mistyping online, it's because my fingers are fat. All right, that's my excuse. This one is the SSO2 times Sarah Blue. So it's the same as this. I have a couple of these guys going and a couple of the macro times lumbers going because I love both of these genetics. If you see these genetics on the site, they're a fan favorite of mine. But the reason why I love the SSO2 is because this teal that it gives you. It gives you like a different shade blue than normal Burgesses will. And that's been my favorite shade so far to see popping out of the, you know, it's just good to have like variety and variation. You don't always want the same of everything, right? Look at that piano, man. I love the stature on this guy. He's almost like an old wise man, the way that he grows. I can't describe it, but something tells me that he's got a cool personality in the cactus world, and I really like that. See if I can get in here for you. Some fat basils. And there you go. Pack PC times Jules Giant. I think sadly the PC won this round because it's not getting quite as fat as I would like, but it is a nice looking cactus and it stays plump and it grows like a weed. He's all the way up here too. We got Burgess Phoenix Torch. So this is from a nursery here in Phoenix, and it's a no-name Burgess. So you'll see other ones named like this. And I think that's just like where you get it from the nursery. I don't think that they're all the same clone, if that makes sense. We got a Bruce's Dragon right there that insists on splitting instead of pupping out. We're gonna make the cut here on this Bruce's Dragon too, because now the phone's getting hot again. We'll see you in the rest of the tent. Back on the split. Look how fat that thing is. No pups, hasn't grown, just keeps thickening up and splitting. We got some monstruses. Look at that beautiful pattern. They're renowned for doing that. This is actually the same kind of deformity or mutation that the penis cactus has. So that the penis cactus is same as this guy, AA. That's also a monstrous mutation. But the penis cactus specifically is a Burgess, and this one is a Pachinoi version of it. So two different kinds of San Pedros, both with the same mutation. Little interesting, huh? Lotus Land also has the same mutation. And speaking of the monstrous mutation, this one's new. This guy's a hybrid. It's Riverland Peru times Helen. And he has monstrous. So you can see he kind of starts to funk out right there. But up here, you can really tell he's absolutely freaking out. Got a couple bumps over here. And this guy is a Peruvian that I grew for years and years and years. And he finally started really going off right here. And he's pretty tall now. So it took a while of me thinking he's just a normal cactus before he became a super awesome monstrusing variation. The other thing that I've learned is that the Peruvian ones are even more rare than the Pachinoi and the Burgesses. Got a little bit of rust right there, but up here it's all healthy. And you can tell he's got the Peruvian areoles nice and fuzzy and big compared to like that. That's Pachinoi. Classic Peruvians. So this dude, we're in the processes of naming right now, but he's awesome. He gets really, really thick too. Kind of like Chemical Shaman's dick, where there's not really like ribs anymore. Like it's just flat now. Look at that. It's just flat, straight all the way up. Great cactus. Great clone. And that's one of my favorites to look at now. Awesome update. This dude's for sale. Beautiful for Jesse. Maybe even a hybrid. But that's a nice San Pedro. And then we had a dayman, but he fell and split. So I had to take that cutting. Sometimes they kind of just volunteer for you. And now look at this guy. This guy's one of my favorites. The lighting is not the best right now. That's his arm back there too. Then we got a big old stand of Lotus Land. Did a little bit of melting. His melting was cut up here. And you would have seen this on the last video, the 4 ribs, but it's gone now. And then we got Lumberjack. Big old Lumberjack down here. Look how blue they get. Lumberjack is renowned for the spiceless settings, so I got a couple of those guys going as well. Want to always make sure I can have some good, nice clones that people want. You know what I mean? The ones that give the tingle on the tongue. That's a good shot right there. So yeah, that's the large tent. Got another dayman right here. Dayman's thorns are amazing. Hanu Depot. Beautiful. All right, let's go take a look at the other tent now. All right, before we look at the other tent, let's look at some in-ground ones actually. This guy's a little no ID for Jesse. And this guy's kind of cool because look, he leans up right there, up against everything. He always gets a bunch of leaves at the base, and I try to clear them out so that there's not like a rotting issue, but it just piles back up like immediately, almost immediately. I think this guy's a hybrid, to be honest. I don't think this is a pure Burgess-y. And then over here, the famous, the Sonoran Burgess-y. Many of you know about this guy. If you don't, feel free to check out my video. I cut that tip and we auctioned it off, I believe. We did release 2 more of these cuttings. So keep your eyes peeled. I think we're gonna do another 2 to 3. Might do a giveaway with two more auctions this year. If you're looking for Sonoran Burgess-y, it will be the time. I have tasted, and it is spicy. And it has a trip report from the dude who poached it, unfortunately. So we do know that it's got its stuffs in it. Hopefully one day, there's the pineapple pug. Hopefully one day I will be able to get this guy back into the wild where he belongs. He was taken from the wild in the Sonoran Desert, if you were unaware of the backstory, the lore. Look at that. Really cool Burgess-y though. I really want to get him thick like that arm. Start getting his thorns going good. So hopefully this dude will do it. Hopefully he'll do it. And we got our land race. This is a part of the original seeds that I sowed all the way back in 2019. They're huge now. Got a couple pups coming in where I cut them. Some nice V notches. And I don't know what it is about the seed batch, but they did get pretty thorny, a little more thorny than normal for a Pacanoy anyways. But yeah, a nice guy in the ground. Landrace from Ecuador, apparently. Let's look at one last guy over here. Boosh. Big old mother plant. TPQC. Look at how fat this guy is. Monstrous. And there's even another arm right there hiding. Oh, look at that shot. TPQC is one of my favorites. We just did a clone backstory where I kind of did a bigger deep dive on him if you want to go check that out as well. But it's basically a Altman's Blue that came from the nursery that sells to Home Depot. And this is basically one of the true Pacanoids that they have over there, the Altman's Blue. And this guy gets so thick and grows so fast, he gets so blue in the shade, as you can see, that people didn't think he was a Pacanoid. They thought he was a Peruvian torch at first, but he is a Pacanoid, and we know that now. And he's one of the best graft stocks that I have. Love using him for almost full sun. You can see this arm right here takes full sun, and then the shade gets blue. But he could take a pretty good amount of full sun, which makes him one of the best graft stocks that I've ever used. And he was the graft stock for my Bruce's Dragon, my huge one that I'm rooting now. We could take a look at that one later. But yeah, this is TPQC, aka Altman's Blue. Let's take a look at some more in grounds. All right, some more in the ground ones in another section of the property. Peru P2 times Bridge Bertha. Got a nice hybrid right there. Just look at the blue of that. Absolutely amazing. It was not doing as well, I don't think, on the last video. He struggles to soak up water a lot. And this rain has really pushed him through. It's like another pup coming in. Oh no, that was the terminated tip that turned into that one. And this guy I'm debating, I might make a cutting off of him and list him soon. Nice cross. His spines look really nice too when they get going. That was the real reason why I liked him. But now his growth is getting old and we need him to thicken up. Now over here we got the Peruvian. This is actually the brother to Dayman. We got these two stands at the same time. This was my biggest stand that I got. You can see the fresh thorns, fresh old thorns coming in. This guy's an absolute stunner. I love the glow of it. Those are also some arms from him. He's getting nice and tall. It's kind of hard for me to reach all the way up here. That's as high as my arms will go. Looking like we got a little bit of sun stress. So here's a good idea of what sun stress starts to look like. See, it starts to show up in these vertical lines. And the vertical lines are a good indication that he's starting to get hit by the UV. It's not really like heat or anything like that, but that's straight sun stress. Look at how nice this pup is. Now look at him just push through this. He's stopped up on that and just pushed right through. And we got lots of pups. I think this is a lot more pups than last time when I showed you guys. I love it when they just come out the ground like that. There's a pup underneath this pup. Kind of hard to see. But yeah, the brother to Nightman. Hamper size, very fat. Here is a lotus land. He's doing the ghillie suit, so he's not been very happy lately. But I got him in the ground just because it's a nice big melted wax / lotus land. He's not doing too hot yet, but we'll get there, right? The macro times lumberjack. Look at all these basil pups coming in. Look at that. He's also waiting to soak up. He didn't really soak up much from the rain, but usually it takes them a little bit when they're big and you plant them. Usually they need like 4 or 5 months, I find, to at least soak that up. And then we got some over there in the shade. Here's Bubba. We'll go over Bubba in the other tent as I have a much bigger one. It's the arm that came off of this. But Bubba is one of my favorites. Fat old blue Peruvian. I mean, just look how fat that is to my hand. He goes nice and slow and fat. Tucson fat mother plant. This is a pretty new pup. A lot of the growth is very fat on this Tucson fat. I think this is MX13. He really just struggles. Does not want to. I'm probably gonna rake these rocks out and just see if that might help him, but he really does not like to ever soak up all the water. He keeps the tips nice, and then that's about it. And one of the new additions, lumberjack, big old lumberjack mother plant. He's gonna get big. Just you wait. This guy's probably about 2 feet right now. But while we're over here, let's talk about the giveaway coming up, right? I'm gonna show you this giveaway that we got. It's that cutting. And it came right off of this guy right here. He was a lost label, so this is no ID. And let me show you how to enter the giveaway. Oh, boobies. Look at that. Look at that, this cactus has boobies. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, the giveaway, that's right. Goddamn boobies distract me every time. If you don't just have cactus cuttings falling out the wazoo like this, almost fell, then you might need to enter this giveaway and get yourself a free cutting. If you don't have them all rooting, like a nice rooting section like this, and you have space for it, enter the free giveaway. Now, how can we enter this giveaway, you might ask? I would like you to comment which cactus you like the most. And I would also like you to comment something positive, like keep going, or good work, bro. I love the videos. And then also, please like the video, as that helps me the most. These videos do need to be sponsored, so they're sponsored by me, Troy, the owner of Sonoran Spores, where we sell these cactus on our website, sonoranspores.com. We also sell mushroom genetics because I am a mushroom guy. We have one of the largest libraries of both genetics of mushrooms and San Pedro. So if you like either of those, this might be the store for you. Please go to sonoranspores.com and support us. We also got cool tie-dyed lab coats, and we also have cool merch if you don't like either of the genetics. Once you do those things, you will be entered on this giveaway. I'm going to set a reminder for 1 month after the video, and then I will reply to the comment that wins. We do a random name drawing on a big circle, like a big pie chart, and it spins it. And then it'll just pick one of the random names. So make sure your comment is within the time frame of the 1 month of this video. Thank you very much, and please back to the regular programming. Alrighty, the last tent. It's getting hot. It's past noon now, so let's wrap this puppy up. Look at how nice this dude is. I really like the look of this guy. I think it's the notches for me. He does it really well up here. Reminds me of the land race. It might be one of our land races, but I don't think it is. The land race Ecuadorian. Here's one of them. So this is the same brother as the one that's in the ground that I showed you guys earlier. You can see he's not in a bigger state because he's in a pot. He also did get cut up there, but still he's growing a lot slower. If you can get them in the ground, they will take off. This is the same guy from the giveaway. Make sure you enter that. This is his papa. You can see he goes 4 ribs. He goes 4 wins. A lot of people like that. We got our humongous Super Pedro. This guy's been absolutely just killing it out here. One of the fatter ones I got. Couple monstruces. Here's Dayman. And this is a landrace arm that popped off. Look at how fat it got. Huge landrace. Lotus Land. I told you, I got a bunch of them. Here comes the garbage truck. Hope that's not too loud for you guys. Not even gonna try to say this one, so I'm gonna put that there for you. That's a locality as well. So this is a landrace coming from that region, a Peruvian. I am in love with the land races. Right here's SSO2. When I was doing the giveaway shot, one of those big old Burgess arms, that was an SSO2 arm that I just chopped right there. Look at they call them birds. It's those little like divots on top. They call them birds. Look at the birds on SSO2. And now it's hitting the top of that, so we need to get SSO2 inside soon. The birds on that guy are also really nice. Now look how blue this one is. I think this is just a no-name for Jesse. See this light green all the way down here? I think that means that it's thickening up all the way down there. So this whole thing is growing still to get thicker. And this is one of my favorites. This is a Hoscoensis. It looks like a rosy eye too, but it's not. And it's also one of my thickest ones. I'm gonna get him in the ground soon, I think. This is a Hanu. A Hanu. TPQC. Looking good. Little no-name Burgess. Almost looking like an SSO2. I like it. Another nice little no-namer. As I mentioned on the first video, I'm not a big collector on the names. A lot of the named clones that I have are gifts from other people. But, pop that guy in. I usually don't get named ones. Now this is a Nuestra Bonita. This big mother stand I got like 5 years ago. I've made cuttings and you can see he's got some nice big arms on it now. That's a Shark's Blue times Ogun little stand I just got. I just acquired that one not too long ago. I think that's new from the last video though, for sure. So that's a nice one. Here's another little land race. And I'm gonna take a break after this because the phone's getting hot. Look at that basil pup. Beautiful basil pup. All right, let's take a look after. We got the second half of the tent, and I'm gonna try to approach it from the backside now. All right, we're on the other side now. Look at this. This is a nice day, man. This is gonna be definitely one of the clones we have coming out a lot of. I love Dayman. I just stepped the shit out of myself with this thorn. Look at that. Be careful when you work with Dayman. We got a beautiful coyote. Coyote is a really nice Peru. Especially out here in Arizona, I've seen some other people with coyote in full sun just going off. We got Shogun. And then the Shogun graft behind it also has grown like 4 inches. Jeez Louise. They're shooting off. Absolutely amazing. Now that is the fabled TPQC rootstock that I put my big old Bruce's Dragon on that we'll look at the very end of this video. And you can tell it's already pumping out. Absolutely ridiculous. This is a no ID big old Pacanoy that I grew, and I just cut him and made him a rootstock because, you know, Shogun's garden is a little more important to me. Look at these guys. It's almost like they're waving at you. Hi, hello there. Something like that, right? That's a crazy mutation on some monstruses. Love to see it, love to see it. This is a hard tent for me to get into. It's a lot harder than normal. So I usually don't get to see a lot of this stuff. Oh, here comes the garbage truck. It's coming around. I think it's gonna hit my house actually. Shout out to all the garbage people out there. If you're one of those hard-working men or women doing your thing, helping society run, thank you. We need it. We need you more than we need the cactus, right? We do need that. Look at the new thorns on this guy, bro. This is one of the land races that I got. One of the brothers to the dude in the ground. What do you guys think? It looks almost like it's got some freaking Burgess to it, man. Either way, it's beautiful. I do love it. Look at that. This is another pot. It looks similar, but I don't think this one is a landrace. I think this is just a cutting that we got. Over here is Chemical Shaman's dick. And is grafted to a huge Tucson fat. Look at how big that sidearm is. The sidearm grew while I grafted that one on. So this is a good example why you'd want to cut these, because this could all be chemical shaman stick. But I'm actually going to propagate that and make it another Tucson fat, because CSD, as you can see, is prone to fungal issues. So it's never quite as pretty as you would like. So I'm just going to try to get some more rootstock off of that one. There's a Zelly times SSO2. Beautiful graph by my wife McKenna. And yeah, here we are, the old thorny bastard. The great OTB, renowned for its spice levels past the penis plant. Very crazy. Grows a lot quicker than the penis plant too. People just tend to get a little persnickety with spines. They don't like spines. I say, hey, if they're gonna help heal you, they're gonna need to hurt you a little bit. You know what I mean? That's just my 2 cents. I don't mind the spines if you heal me after the spines. Am I right? All right. I think I'm right. We're gonna go and we're gonna let the phone cool off and do one last B-roll of that Bruce's Dragon while I thank you fine people for looking at this garden with me. Oh my God, I almost forgot. This is Bubba. Look at how monstrous he is right now. Here's him next to... See if I can get another shot. Look at that Bubba. This guy is thicker than a 2-liter, thicker than a football. Extreme girth. And then very, very blue. Look at those notches. This guy is already in the ground under the Bubba tree, and that's where he gets his name from, Bubba. But this one under the shade tent in the pot right here has outgrown the one in the ground, which is absolutely crazy. This dude can take direct sun due to how thick he is, and then due to how blue he gets too. So keep your eyes peeled for Bubba. The first thick cutting might come soon, and he's gonna be an expensive one just due to how slow growing it is. It's extremely slow growing, but then how thick that baby is too. Just about 10 inches of that will do you in pretty good. So yeah, there's Bubba. Let's go take a look at that Bruce's now. You guys wanna know something cool? Look, this is another lotus land. Oh, it goes all cool like that. But let's get this little baby coyote going. Little baby coyote. Here's the Bruce's Dragon. Look at all of the cool craziness that happens. So you can see how this is a monstrous. He's finally on his own roots. I don't think that this one's needed. Yeah, the bottom one's not needed. But he's finally on his own roots. And he grew a ton. He was right there. And this whole pup is new. So he's probably grown like, I want to say 1.5 feet while he was rooting. Just didn't slow down at all. And now he's back to plumping up. I want to thank everybody for coming with us. Just hit my head. This little thing, god dang it. It was a fun time. I hope everybody got to look at my cactus and enjoy it. And maybe it's not as good as your collection, but you know what? It's mine and it's special to me. Do a little bit of looking at the seedlings for B-roll. Look at that, got a little scope seedling. The guys in the big pots are doing absolutely great. I know a lot of people were commenting that they thought that was a good idea. Look at that. Way better than that, right? We're improving as we go along. Those guys are some plump guys back there as well. And those are all seeds too. And we're gonna just keep on sharing whatever tips we find and figure out with you people. This is my biggest Shogun one going. We got 2 huge pups. 3rd pup. 4th and 5th pup. Does look like he might be getting a little too much sun. I'm gonna probably move him right there. Another old thorny bastard. Thank you all for coming. Look at the sharks blue while you're on your way out. And if you made it this far and you're entering the giveaway, comment something like sharks blue for the win as your inspirational thing to comment. Sharks blue for the win. I got this from a trade with somebody. It was one of the arms that I cut over there. One of those arms. Much love to everybody from Sonoran Spores. Check out this Hanu. I can't stop myself from looking at Cactus.